We lost. True indeed. We lost. Lord knows we lost. I'm about to say something to make you not like me. You might catch feelings and you might want to fight me, but I don't really care, I'ma say it anyway. Why most committed guys seem soft and gay. I'm not saying all, but a large amount. Have you ever heard the words that come out of their mouth? Yeah, they cuss like a sailor, but they follow my eye. They carry oaks and wear makeup and thinking it's hot. I think they need to stop, this is a new era. I wonder if the pharaohs of a war mascara. It probably was a death mask misunderstood. Don't let them D-boys catch them up in the hood. Why NOI? Stop patrolling the block. We get shot by the cops and we calling the cops. Come on, y'all was on another level. The black man was God, the white man the devil. Now the white man, or better yet the European, and the Mars and the bean pies are sold by Koreans. I'm talking what I'm seeing, I'm just a reporter. How you call a woman to be and you got a daughter. Talking about the Hebrews that demonize women and choose Esau over brothers and kin. Probably timid, soft, and scared to fight. Yelling and wearing spikes, trying to fake me out right. But you can't fool me, cause you make a little noise. Cause deep inside, y'all some scared little boys. You really wanna ride, let's take it to the beast. Get revenge for people killed by like these. Yeah, right. Y'all ain't busting the grape. It appears that you fear and you in love with hate. Correct me if I'm wrong, we might all don't get along. European psychology got us all gone. You think we divided, cause I wear fez and she wear oak and he wear dreads. But the vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to wake you up and get you out of the bed. We lost. To get you out the bed, I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Oh yeah, I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Y'all think we divided cause I got a fez and you wear oak and she wear dreads. Y'all think we divided cause I wear fez. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. And she wear oak and he got dreads. Moors need to wake up too, so I'ma wake up you. So we can get together, do what we gotta do. We ain't done much since the prophet left. More standing on law, we still in this mess. Haven't built the town to hold us down. Paperwork can't fear, we looking like clowns. Never been to the temple, claim we follow the prophet, but I follow the prophet. I understand logic. People in the temple, time to hit the streets. Everybody do their part, or we ain't getting relief. The murder rate can be more, it's just gone crazy. Dope fiends ODing in the hood on the daily. Weed waste with chemicals, you drink and serve. We fighting over information, we got some nerve. They say that we conscious, we might know a little something, but we just frontin', cause we haven't done nothing, we lost. You think we divided, cause I got a fez, and she got a cross, and he got dreads. You think we divided, cause I got a fez, and he got an oak, and he got dreads. You think we divided, cause I got a fez?
Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man.
That's right.
Trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. You let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom. Till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice, that's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly or we can get gutter. We are the children of our father and the breast of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the peen trying to murk us all. You need to chill, my brother, tell the elder the same. Cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war, standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square, the compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adept. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept is a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up, is just the start. And there's space to me, the law's the heart. You can dress like Imhotep, but you can dress like a herb. Why the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that, you won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine Drew Ali. People refuse to admit it, he the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your bucks, move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you, misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, just let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. Just let me be your friend. Peace and love, just let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, just let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But where the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay
Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for them people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro, yeah you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now, don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate, I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you kill and fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me, let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That town. I be that more you gon' remember. Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. I rise, giving praise to Allah, giving honor to his prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, giving honor to the forerunner of the prophet. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Islam, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, Islam, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Y'all made me do it, I ain't wanna do it. Try to work with y'all and I was going through it. I said hit the streets, they wanna hit the streets. You wanna stay in the temple. Same speech, same talk, same bark, no bite. Well alright, I'm Tahaka Bay and I'ma handle that. My prophet spoke to me, he said handle that. Now I'm front and center, front line. Look at y'all, wanting mine, but it ain't mine, it's God's plan. Okay, family, listen, this is what you don't understand, right? Somebody say you work with me, family, have some patience. This is what you don't understand. I have two shows that I'm gonna do tonight. Bashir is coming on next, right?
So I got a bunch of slides that I want to share and make my point to also. So bear with me, family. See, when we get our money right, we gonna have an engineer back here queuing up everything. I gotta pay attention to you. I got to cue it up. See, this is bigger than them other shows where you just got talking heads. I'm giving you slides. I'm giving you music. I'm giving you me. I'm giving you it all. So work with me, family. But anyway, what I was saying is that if you remember from last night, Saneter was like, "Why the Moors don't mess with you?" In fact, I stopped messing with a few Moors because I didn't feel as though that they was exemplifying the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and nor did I accept their brand of Islamism or teachings of Moorish science. And so once I seen that they were fraudulent, whether they wore affairs or not, just like I say in the song, just because you wear affairs, you ain't my bro. See, I call a spade straight down the middle. Just because you say you are more, just yeah, on crack pipes, my man. On crack pipe, my man. But just because you say that you are more, just because you proclaim to be a more, when you start to go outside what I know the prophet taught, you're a fraud to me. So I wrote this song right here back in 2016. Check it out.
It's a new
New day for the Moors.
Hey Moors, hey Moors, it's a new day for the Moors.
Islam. That's right. Everybody share. We about to start. We about to start in a minute. We about to turn all the way up, family. All the way up.
Hey Moors, hey Moors, it's a
Come
new
on,
day for the Moors. Oh yeah,
Do the TLC.
it's a new day for the Moors.
Yes.
Y'all made me do it, I ain't wanna do it. Try to work with y'all when I was going through it. I said hit the streets and wanna hit the streets. You wanna stay in the temple. Same speech, same talk, same bark, no bite. Well, alright, I'm to hard bay and I'ma handle that. My prophet spoke to me, he said handle that. Now I'm front and center, front line. Look at y'all, wanting mine, but it ain't mine, it's God plan, a law plan. Oh man, 2016, all you gonna see is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Old Moors, step aside, third and fourth, come on, let's ride. Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors.
See, I wrote this in 2016. I predicted what I was going to do. It's a new day. Let's go.
It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah,
Y'all ready?
It's a new day for
Check it
the
out.
Moors.
Come on, build it up.
Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, it's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam.
Check it out.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Listen. Hold up. Shout out to Uncle Sug in the building. Me and Uncle Sug gonna team up and take them all out. Let's go.
You been visited by a prophet of God, and you mean to tell me we can't go hard? I'm a boy.
I say, I be like this, right? I be like, we've been visited by a prophet of God. And you mean to tell me we can't go hard? I'm the more of old, the one who rode the elephants over the Alps in the cold, even went to Spain, rearranged the terrain, even tried to civilize Cain. Nah, cipher. This was back in 2016. I said, 2016, I'm going to show you what this means. My tassel rolled 360. Do you really know? Let's bring it back.
Of old, the one who rode the elephants over the Alps in the cold, even went to Spain, rearranged the terrain, even tried to civilize Cain. Now cipher, 2016, I'ma show you what this means. My tassel roll 360. Do you really think you can tell me what to do and say? Do you know I look up the form and pay? I roll with the prophet, I'm a prophet more. Follow the prophets, so I profit more. Stop it more. I'm holding the world and make me drop it more than drop it more. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Chicago.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's a new
Hey, family, I'm telling you, when they talk that stuff, let's go.
day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam.
Go, man.
It's a new day for the Moors. Between you.
I say, between you and I am the wisest. You never measure up because your household's divided. You never measure up because your household's divided. How you gonna teach anybody but Drew when the people that love you, they don't believe you? They probably think you got jail religion. You need to wash off that stench of prison. Speaking of prison, that's all y'all a trap. And what about the children and y'all adapts? Man, scrap that. I ain't even tripping. I show you what happens when the law gives you vision. No government grants and no food stamps. Learn how to build a temple from watching the ants and watching my prophet and listen to Allah. I will be in hell if I listen to y'all. Listen to y'all. Walking up, talking all Moorish. Walking around broke with nothing to show for it. Oh! That's when I had to tell the Moors what it was. Let's go.
You and I am the wise. You never measure up, it's your household divided. How you gonna teach anybody about you when the people that love you, they don't believe you? Probably think you got jail religion. Need to wash off that stench of prison. Picking up prison, that's all y'all attract. What about the children and y'all had that? Don't scrap that. I ain't even tripping. I show you what happened when the law gives you vision. No government grants and no food stamps. Learn how to build a temple from watching the ants, from watching my prophet and listening to Allah. I will be in hell if I listen to y'all. Listen to y'all. Talking all Moors, walking around broke, but nothing show for it. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors.
One more. One more.
Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors.
We almost there.
It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors.
Stop screaming. I say stop screaming, bragging about y'all greatness. Third and fourth generation
bragging about our greatness. Third and fourth generation see through the fakeness.
Third and fourth generation see through the fakeness. They don't really care about Brazil. They don't really care about Seville or Grenada. Their primary focus is Gucci, Prada. Who you uplifting? Nothing. Nada. Who you uplifting? Nothing. Nada. Can't relate because your mind state is caught up in the past. If you flex, I'ma blast on you and your staff. My young boys coming, they becoming more shmen. But before they elevate, they accepted for the sin. So watch your slander, because they got the hammers, kind of like Peter, protecting Jesus. I'm the Drew Ali apostle. Don't get hostile, because there ain't no telling what I do for them.
Really care about Seville or Grenada. Their primary focus is Gucci, Prada. Who you uplifting? Nothing, nada. Who you uplifting? Nothing, nada. Nothing, nada. Nothing, nada. Can't believe it, your mind is caught up in the past. If you flex, I'ma blast on you and your staff. My young boys coming, they becoming more trend. But before they learn to love, this is acceptable to sin. So watch your slander. They got the hammers, kind of like Peter, protecting Jesus. I'm a Drew Ali apostle. Don't get hostile, because ain't no telling what I do for the gospel. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. San Diego, Portland, everybody. Oh yeah.
That's how it goes,
it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. East Coast, Midwest, down south. Oh yeah. Time for the Moors to stand up. Stand up.
Y'all ready?
We've been in the background too long. Get on your square.
Come on, man.
It's a new day for the Moors, the day to Harker Bay. It's long. Get at me.
Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I am your super hyperactive host, Brother Harker Bay. Hey, family, you can tell that I do what I do. Family, I'm my biggest fan. You got to work with me. You got to work with me. I'm my biggest fan. Family, if you ever been here, then you already know how I get down. So recently what had happened was that, these people like to take these shots because I do videos that are very controversial. The controversial part of it is not really controversial. The only controversial part of it is I'm saying that there come a time that we call this a conscious community, that we might as well become conscious. You see what I'm saying? We might as well become conscious, and conscious only mean awareness. I don't know why people think consciousness mean how many books you read, how many scholars you know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they think that's consciousness. Consciousness is to be aware. And when you look at the conscious community, what they like to call it today, ain't nobody aware. Because Saneter, oh yeah, this is all about Saneter, has been the gatekeeper. And I talked about this last night, but now I'm going to show and prove just a little bit tonight. Saneter has been the gatekeeper to control the narrative on who's real and who's fake in the conscious community. He was the one, listen to me, family, if you was here last night, you will remember that Saneter said that won't we just do something productive? Anybody remember that? No, won't we just do something productive? You know what I'm saying? Won't we just, see, don't nobody care about that. Won't we do something productive? Do anybody remember that Saneter, the one that started the back and forth and the confrontation with everybody going against each other? Anybody remember? Were you there? How long you been following this nonsense? Were you there? Let me thank Maurice Mack And everybody who hit the dollar sign before I came in, press 1, walk with me. Do anybody remember? Anybody remember? Saneter say, well, let's do something constructive. But do we remember that he was the one that brought in the conflict? Moors versus Hebrews, Hebrews versus Kemetic, Kemetic versus Christian. Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? But now he's talking about, oh no, let's do something productive. Well, what we're going to do productive now, we're going to show how you brought the confusion in, just like the European that you talk about. You brought the confusion in. We're going to show that you are the orchestrator of the mass confusion within the social media or YouTube conscious community. You are. Nobody else. When you got a Kwame responds to those who attack him. When you got a Tahaka Bay, you got a brother who responds to those who attack him. That's what you get. I respond. Half of the time, I can't wait for you to attack me so I can respond because I got so many receipts on your fraudulent ways that I just can't wait to give it to the people. But one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to step out my lane, jump into your lane just because I suspect you not being who you say you are. But the moment that you come at me, I'm going to give it all to the people. Let's be clear, family. Let me take you back down memory lane. Let me take you back down memory lane. Saneter has been a scammer from day one. He's been the A1, day one scammer. How do we know that? On 125th Street, he was selling bootleg copies of Umar Johnson tapes. Kwesi, what's the brother name from Kinetic Science? Yeah, Dr. Ben. Yeah, talk about it. He was selling bootleg copies of these people's work and wasn't paying them a dime. He's conscious now. Here we go. So when we look at the root of the tree, we start to understand why we have this conflict on social media, starting with the king of the social media conflict, Ashwa Kwesi. There we go. Thank you, Crips. Thank you, Crip. Selling bootleg DVDs of Dr. York. Selling bootleg books of Dr. York. Selling bootleg. See, this is how we get these people. See, listen. The new generation that watches it now, they have to be reminded that this guy was a crook, a scammer from day one. Let me explain something to you. Because he was in the new Black Panther Party under the leadership of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, after Dr. Khalid Muhammad, he had seen all the corruption in there, and he had realized that there's no need to fight for freedom, or as he would like to call it, when he was, what's his name was, Salim or something. He didn't want to fight for freedom, justice, and equality no more. Now he just wanted to hustle. You follow what I'm saying? In fact, let me show you about Salik real quick. Let me show you about Salik. This is how fraudulent these people are, family. Stick with me. We're going to break it down now. And I ain't answering no phone tonight. You know what I mean? I ain't answering no phone tonight. Okay? We ain't answering no phone tonight. You know what I mean? We ain't answering no phone tonight, so don't even call me. Here we go. Let me pull it up for you, family. Check this out. Salik Quran. We're gonna look at Salik Quran real quick. You know what I mean? Let's look at Salik Quran real quick. Let me show you how this fraud stuff starts. We're gonna give it up. And I'll be giving people their props. You know what I mean? I give them their props. You know what I'm saying? But tonight, your props gonna drop. You know what I mean? So here we go. Watch this. Let me open him up for you. Now listen, this is how fraudulent these people are. They come out the gate fraudulent, and then they try to remix themselves as time go on. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Give me 1 second. This is how they try to remix themselves. Hold up. Where you at? There you go. This is how they try to remix themselves. Oh, we're going to turn up tonight. We're going to turn up. Oh, my goodness. I'm messing up. I'm doing too much. But this is how they remix themselves. Give me a second, family. There we go. Where you at? There you go. So listen, when you look at this, right? Look at this real quick. Look at the middle name. Look at the middle name. Dr. Salik Quran. This fool couldn't spell doctor with a Dr. Seuss book. Dr. Salik Quran. Y'all see that? This is how the fraud starts. See, this is old school fraud. This ain't new school fraud. This is old school fraud. Look at this. Dr. Salik Quran. You see? And I would give him his props. He's a doctor. When did and where did that happen? So listen, this is how the birth of the house of consciousness starts, with frauds like this, calling himself a doctor. Like somebody really going to believe that you's a doctor. You ain't no doctor, fool. That fool say he's a doctor. This clown needs to stop. So what you're doing is you're destroying your legacy, because now everything that you ever, listen to me, family. One thing that I pride myself on, that if you go back and look at anything I ever said, I would hope and pray that it's solid. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you will find anything inconsistent. You know what I mean? I don't think you will find anything consistent. I think what you will find is everything about me is solid. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, let me give you an example. Let me give you, matter of fact, let's open this can of worms of Salik real quick. Now, I put out this flyer, right? And we're gonna start one at a time. Let's start one at a time, real quick. Let's start one at a time, because we're gonna deal with Salik real quick. We're gonna first start with let's see. Let's look at the flyer. Who we gonna start with first? Okay, let's start with Polite. Can we start with Polite? Because the way I got this arranged is how they are introduced in the community and how they protect it. But first, let's start with Polite. Let me ask you a question, family. I asked this question last night. Who was a part of New Wabian when Polite was there? I guarantee you won't find nobody that say that they were in New Wap with Polite was there next to Dr. York. Guarantee you. If you do, I would apologize. He has a made-up history. It's made up. Let me tell you what Polite has. He has a photographic memory. He can read something and spit it back to you just as fast as he read it. He has a talent for that. You see what I'm saying? He don't know what he's talking about, but he can spit it back and articulate it back as fast as he read it. It's an amazing talent. You know what I mean? It's an amazing talent. Now, Doc, he claims that he's married to Dr. York's daughter. Anybody remember that? Do anybody remember that? How many people can go back that far? Remember when he said he was married to Dr. York's daughter? Remember that? Which one is Dr. York's daughter today? Anybody remember? Y'all forget all this stuff? See, this is what I'm talking about. When you trace a person back, you kind of see, you'll be able to see if they solid or not. You just give them enough time to talk. Just give them enough time to talk. Which one is Dr. York's daughter? Anybody know? I bet you don't know. This man's a fraud. He has a made-up history. Now, listen to you. Number three, before I get into it, they say he's still with her. Okay. You believe that's Dr. York's daughter? Okay. If that's what you want. Okay. Let me tell you what Prince York said one time. Prince York, Dr. York's son, don't know nothing about that. Anybody remember Prince York? Remember when him and Polite had the conversations? Y'all don't remember? Absolutely. Dr. York has over 100 children. So anybody can say, I'm married to Dr. York's daughter. This is how they make up a fictitious identity. Listen, family. When these agents come into this social, this is what you have to understand, family. What you must understand is that the program that's set aside to stop us from developing and going fast is very intricate. They have figured out social media before you even got on social media. They have figured out how to manipulate you on social media by the way of people that look at us before we even created an account on social media. You follow what I'm saying? And so when one comes, this is a whole new paradigm. When one comes to social media, they come up with an image. This image is kind of like the same image that is brought in an investigation of drug activity, gang activity, or mafia activity. There's a fictitious past that's made up. So if someone wanted to infiltrate the mob, they would have to come with a fictitious past. They would have to ease their way in to some weak little mob, and then they would have to work their way up to the New York mob syndicate, and then they have to gain trust. So what Brother Polite did was he entered into a Dr. Sebi lecture. Anybody remember? He entered into a Dr. Sebi lecture. And then he began to prostitute himself as a conscious person selling. See, y'all can't go back this far. He began to prostitute himself as one who was selling conscious body oils, lotions, and things of that nature. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember? But that only lasts a short period of time. That only lasts a little block of time. The next step was to get inside of what we call the digital conscious community and what they call the conscious community. And the way he came in, everybody say it with me now. How did he enter into the digital conscious community? Saneter. Around 2012 or 2013, he entered in the digital conscious community. And y'all remember what he was calling himself? Remember how they superhero tagged him? Let me explain something to you, family. I was born Toronto. Let me give it to you. Tahaka and Toronto is interchangeable. I'm not scared to tell you what I was born as, right? But let me tell you something. Because Tahaka and Toronto is interchangeable, I came to the internet as Tahaka, even though I was going by that years before I came to the what's the name, right? But let me tell you something. What I did was, there we go. I adopted it because I watched how they played the game. And if you watched last night, I told the story of how I came to defend Morris Science. That's the only reason I created a Facebook page, a YouTube page, and all of that. I was knee deep in working and trying to take care and overcome the ills of my past of being reckless. You follow what I'm saying? So when I came in, I was looking at goofy stuff of how people were naming themselves. I knew Funky Frankie was Funky Frankie, but he called himself Saneter. Brother Polite. What in the world is a Brother Polite? That sounds like a code name. Michael Novak. What brother you know named Michael Novak from Brownsville? I don't know none. And then he began to market himself, as Mr. Invictus says, the young phenom. This was all a part of the scheme of the comic type character to grab your attention. That he was young, there you go. And Mr. Invictus, no, he's Nigerian. And the two wives, Aminette and the other one, are also Nigerian. And they came over here for the sake to infiltrate the conscious movement wherever they find it. But we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. But Saneter is instrumental in having them come through the door. But now when you go and check the past, let's do this. Let's do this. If you check my past, I haven't always been a grand sheik. I haven't always walked the line. Sometimes I stepped outside the line. And when I stepped outside the line, I was awarded with some bracelets that I was offended of these bracelets. Some silver bracelets. I didn't like the bracelets. Let me tell you something. You can look that up and discover that about me. It's not a big deal to me. You can look it up and discover it, right? No big deal. Drama with the baby mamas, if that's what you want to call it. You know what I mean? All of that. No big deal. But now, when you look at one like Polite, he says, and I said this last night, that his name was Cavity because he shot somebody in the mouth and was given attempted murder charges. We ain't never seen that record. Why is it we can pull up everybody's record? You can pull up my record. They even fake my record. A couple people pull up my record and they even fake it. Say I'm a child abuser and everything. Ain't there conviction there. Ain't there court. Ain't there trial. But they pull it up and say, here you go. Why we don't see no record of Cavity? Why? Why we never see no record? Where is it? Where is the prison sentence? Where is the prison record? Where is, not saying it don't exist, but all of these years, you would think that after writing 101 books that he claimed that he didn't write one book about his life and show, then prove where he come from to maybe inspire somebody. I would invite anybody to do this. I would invite anybody to do this. Give me 1 second. I would invite anybody to do this. I'm going to show you something real quick. I would invite anybody to go to the New York City Department of Corrections and type in Michael Novak and see if you can find a sentence in the court system anywhere. I invite anybody to do it. See, here we go right here. The moment that you call me an agent, right, you're going to have to prove that. Don't get mad because I'm going to prove that you are. Now, when I'm talking about Saneter, and as well as Brother Polite, I am I'm in the right position to talk about this because Polite actually came to Baltimore, was introduced to people by me, and ultimately scammed somebody here in Baltimore where we had to get the money back. He gave the money back, though. He did. He did. A little bit of pressure, but he gave it back. So once you do that, I'm duty bound to let the people know this is not a wise investment or a wise choice to befriend a person that may possibly take advantage of you because they have done it before. And once again, somebody say his name is Michael Novak. That ain't his name. I bet you can't find that nowhere, anywhere on the record and for the record. I can find it a couple places, but you won't find it anywhere, as the Moors say, on the record and for the record. Not the type of stuff that he used to come into this digital conscious community, but who let him in? Who let him in is the major question. You know what I mean? Who let him in was Saneter. But now, the brother was so adamant, right? So adamant about making his position be known in the conscious community that, hold on 1 second, that he would say outlandish stuff. Watch this. He would say outlandish stuff like this.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually. Okay. Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny scientifically. We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. Would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to.
Now listen, this is not about Dr. York at this time. What this is about is he said that if Dr. York was proven to be a child molester, DNA and all, he will still have to worship Dr. York as his most high. That ain't the kicker. The kicker is that Saneter invites this into the community, endorses it, and then cover up for it. This is the issue. This is the issue. So the topic of the night is Saneter is inviting people that nobody really know. They got such a long track record. See, let me tell you something, family. If anybody ever been in a relationship with a woman, man or woman, male or female, whoever you are, have y'all ever, and y'all be interactive with me, have you ever been in a relationship where a person showed their imitation self and they just couldn't hold on to their imitation self long enough? And then the real self start coming out and you be fighting for the real self, the imitation self to reappear. But the imitation self would never reappear because the real self, the ratchet, the dirty, the cheater, the crazy, the freaky diggy, the crazy nut job is the real self. But you be sitting there hoping that the illusion that they sold you in the beginning will return, but that illusion will never return because that wasn't them in the first place. And so that's what you're getting with Brother Polite. Many people looking at Brother Polite like he's going to return and talk the talk that he was talking on 25th Street or when he was in the lectures with Dr. Sabi. But those things would never come back because that's not who he was. That was not the mission that he was on. New Covenant was not a mission that he was on. That was a fraud, that was a scam, and that was a stepping stone to weave his way to where he's at now. And now he's infiltrating Hollywood. Let me tell you something. There is no way that a person can be accused of robbing somebody for $40,000, $70,000, $80,000 and not be adjudicated not one time. At least, I don't want anybody to be locked up. Let's be clear. But I know that if I was accused of scamming $40,000 I know that European be knocking on my door. But we have people that actually called. Hold up, I ain't finished. Anybody remember him? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Anybody remember Crypto? That guy Crypto? Where is he? There you go.
I was sleeping on the beach and my father.
There we go. Hold up. Y'all remember him? Remember this guy? Anybody ever remember this story? There we go. There you go.
Father died from a heart attack, and I didn't know I was getting money. I got some life insurance money, and I was just going to travel and do my thing, but I was following Brother Polite for years, and I considered him my master teacher. I really, really trusted this dude with all my heart. And so as soon as I got paid, I hit him up for the mentorship. And
stop right there. Stop right there. So family, we know the rest of the story, right? The rest of the story is he gave him $80,000. He reached out to the attorney general. He reached out to everybody he can. But hold up. One of the problems is if Polite duped him, he duped him. If he wanted to try to fight and get his money back, we get all that. You know what I'm saying? We get that. But the problem is when you have a Saneter that endorses that type of behavior and calls himself the House of Consciousness and allow that type of behavior to be endorsed by following up. You see what I'm talking about? Saneter is the gatekeeper of the scammer, of the agent. Walk with me.
He's the gatekeeper. All right, hold up. We ain't finished yet. Now, he's the gatekeeper. This is my point I'm making tonight. He's the gatekeeper, right? Check it out. Anybody remember this story? Pull it up real quick. Anybody remember this story? That's one scam I showed you. Now let me share one more with you. Anybody remember this story? This story. The Ohio condominium, cargominium, where Polite was, he was so bold. Now, you know he got to be Nigerian. He's so bold that he went on an industrial forklift. Y'all don't remember this? Press one, y'all remember this. Y'all remember this? And claimed that he was building low-income cargo miniums for people in Ohio. This fool actually went on an industrial forklift and went live. Over the past few days, video surfaced of Brother Polite at the development site claiming he himself with the brains behind the latest building of affordable housing. In the video, Polite states the cargo bin apartment is the greatest real estate venture he has ever taken on to date. Surrounded by people, which one claims to be the project engineer, He also claims that this project will not only house families, another idea he has thought up on his own, but also will employ people on the site if they are able and willing to relocate to the area. And that's right. Councilman Conze and the owner threatened him with a lawsuit. So family, here we go. But let's not forget what I'm talking about. Family, remember what I'm talking about. Who introduced him in the community so he can run rampant like this? And remember, the reason why he was doing that, because he was asking people for financial support to finish the project. Let's not forget that. The reason why he was doing it, because he was asking for financial support to finish the project that wasn't even his. Think about it. Again, no trespassing. No nothing. Sounds a bit odd to me. He's been scamming for years. And every time he do a scam, guess where he goes up to brush the dirt off at? You know where he goes to brush the dirt off at? To regain the confidence of the people? Say it with me. Whenever he get caught in a scam, he'll go quiet for a little bit, and guess where he will appear to dust the dust off, to realign himself and revalidate himself with the people. Write it in the chat for me. Where do we go? Where do we go on social media? Saneter. Anytime he loses or fear of losing his credibility, he goes back to Saneter, because this is how the European think. The European think that Saneter is the gatekeeper to our community. And so anybody who need to be validated or polished up to send them back into the community, they go to Saneter. Let me say it real slow. Anybody amongst us that is losing the confidence of any group of people in our community, in order to clean them up and send them back into the community, they use Saneter TV. Just watch. Watch what I'm telling you, family. This is a fact. Look at this. Everybody following me. Mark Lamont Hill. Michi X. This is a fact. So listen, I gave out the challenge last night. I said, Saneter, if you think I'm an agent, I say, if you say I'm an agent, if Malik says I'm an agent, and in fact, I will employ anybody who's called the agent to use this. Let's have a meeting before the people and let's lay out a PowerPoint, and I will show who's most likely an agent, and you will show if I'm an agent, and we'll let the people decide. Don't that make sense? You know what Saneter said last night? The people ain't thinking about that. Why wouldn't the people be? We calling each other agents every day. Every day somebody's an agent. Okay, let's settle it. Let's settle it. Let's go before the people, not on YouTube, have it in Harlem and live stream it. And live stream it. You do your PowerPoint, I will prove that beyond a reasonable doubt, you are compromised. And you try to prove to the people that I am. I guarantee you, you won't be looking good. And that goes for Malik, that goes for Saneter, and that goes for anybody else that want to say that I'm an agent. Let's go. But listen, you got to have some sort of standing in the community. You ain't going to be somebody with a 200 channel trying to come up off my name. We ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? But if you have become somebody in the community and you feel that I'm an agent, I would challenge you right before the people to prove that I am as I prove that most likely you are. And that's if I think you are. You know what I'm saying? Because some people I just disagree with philosophically. But I'm telling you that Saneter is the gate where all the agents come through. That's what I'm telling you. He's the gate where all of them come through. Here we go. Give me one more. Let's pull up something else. Now, if you're not familiar with that, are you familiar with, hold on, with this case here? Let me see. Are you familiar with this case here? In this case right here, this brother lost $40K from Polite. See if I can blow it up real quick. I think it was $40K, but here we go. Hey, how's the situation with your daughter? Is everything okay now? Is she okay? Peace, my good brother. I will call you from in 3 hours. Okay, all good with your daughter? Semi. I definitely get back through the facts. You know, Polite will lie real quick, but here we go. Here we go. Pay attention. Thanks so much, my brother, for keeping us in your thoughts. That means a lot to me. Hey, I can't wait any longer. I talked a lot of people about that situation. Let me see. Hold up. There we go. Let me just go straight to the point. Hey, I tried to call you Friday and you never picked up. Call or text me for a return of the funds of $10,000 for the credit card startup that never went through, and the $40,000 wire funds for the purchase of Kennedy properties that you didn't follow up on to complete. I'd like to complete the refund immediately. Call me, please. There's a lot going on and a lot of people asking me questions. Again, who let the dogs out? Who let them in the community? Say it with me now. Say it with me now. You know who let them in the community. He introduced these crooks to the community. So not only do the crook need to be held accountable, but the one who introduces the crook in the community. We ain't talking about Grandmaster Jay. Grandmaster Jay did his own thing. So I ain't talking about Grandmaster Jay at this point. Grandmaster Jay learned how to introduce himself to the community. You know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is, regardless if the one that gave the 40,000, the one that gave the 150,000, the one that gave the 80,000, regardless if they wasn't on their square, the point is, it's like you let the fox in the hen house. And not only do you let the fox in the hen house, you also, after you let the fox in the hen house, you also allow the fox to run rampant. Let me do this real quick. Give me a second. Listen to this. Y'all remember this? Two kids. What are you talking about? Huh? Y'all hear? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about that, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? All right, hold up. I know you. In fact, let me upload it for you. Let me upload it for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, as you can see from the first one, when Brother Polite says that he would even call Dr. York his what he called his God, if you will. Back then, the black woman wasn't God. You know what I mean? The black woman wasn't God at that time. Dr. York was. You see what I'm saying? According to him. And with that being said, he says that no matter what, if DNA proved that Dr. York had molested children, he would still call Dr. York. What are you talking about? Give me 1 second. That he would still call Dr. York his God. But now check this out. Why is that? Why is that so? Hold on 1 second. Why is that so not really so odd, I guess? Check this out. There we go. Listen to this. Y'all don't remember this on Saneter? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about that, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polite. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renente. You ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Little Dr. York, don't make me. Little Dr. York. So Saneter, when they was beefing, he accused what his name? Brother Polite of doing what they say Dr. York was accused of. You follow me? Y'all with me on this one? But now, while they were mad, you follow me? Give me 1 second. While they were mad, he accused him of doing what Dr. York did, right? Let me play it. You ain't talking about her, right? The one that you call Renente. You're talking about her, right? The one you call Renente. You ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Now stop there. Stop there. Stop there. Let me stop this. Now watch this. What he's talking about is the young sister right there that Polite claimed to be his daughter. Where in fact, he claiming that Polite, you know what I'm talking about. But yet, he still endorses Polite. How can you accuse a man of sexual molestation of a child, but then endorse him later? You tell me. See, this shows you that Saneter is the gatekeeper, because the moment that he gets mad, he start releasing the secrets. You understand what I'm saying? This shows that he's the gatekeeper. Saneter TV is the bridge between our people and the fraudsters and the manipulators. This is why I'm so glad that brothers like Tazoriak, they've created their own platform and built it strong. I'm so glad that brothers like what's the brother name? My wife like him, the other Hebrew brothers, all the Hebrew brothers, although he tried to attack the Hebrew brothers, they went and built their own platform. AOC, you know what I'm saying? They built their own platforms. You see what I'm saying? But all of these people that I'm talking about that used to support him, the Hebrews and others that I'm about to talk about that used to support him, they are gone. Yeah, shout out to Zion Lex, starting his own platform, because you can't go on that. That's a manipulative agent platform to validate people to those who saying that they're conscious but are unconscious. You follow what I'm saying? 1 second. Got my next guest up to go. Now, hold up. But listen. This is what you have to remember, family, that this is all a game. These people don't care about you being conscious. Along the way, it's a saying in the Moore Science Temple of America that man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. And the devil plays this same game. Even the devil that look like us plays the same game. They give you some truth and they give you a lot of falsehood. They give you some truth and they give you a lot of falsehood to manipulate you. This is why Saneter would say, man, y'all want to go another hour? Put something in the Cash App. Come on, do something. He has been reduced to begging now. Now, if I say hit the Cash App, you know I'm very graceful. I'd be like, man, thank you so much. Matter of fact, let me put the Cash App in. And I'm not begging, but those who appreciate my work, I appreciate your support. You know what I mean? But this guy actually get up there and start begging. We ain't gonna do no more unless you put something in the Cash App. Unless you put something in the Cash App. You know what I mean? Y'all being cheap. He started talking about like Umar Johnson. I had to do it, Umar. He started talking like Umar. Y'all be you dirty Negroes. He started talking crazy. He started talking like Umar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He started talking about Umar. But the point that I'm making is I just put my Cash App in if anybody wants support. But as you can see, I don't be thinking about the Cash App. I'm thinking about get this information to you. I'm thinking about getting this information to you. I'm doing so much. I ain't thinking about the Cash App. I'm really thinking about getting you this information. That's what's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Getting you this information. Now watch this. Let me go a step further. What else I got here? Oh, let me move on real quick, because in about 15 minutes, I got Brother Bashir coming on here, and he's going to talk about his experience. So let me move on a little bit. See what else we got here. Oh, so listen, recently, let me pull it up real quick. Let me go back. Bam. Recently, Mark Lamont Hill was in a controversy, right? He was in a controversy for sharing a tweet that he agreed about Frances, our queen mother, Frances Welsing, right? So Mark, here we go with the gatekeeper again. Now, mind you, Mark Lamont Hill is a fully accomplished journalist and educator. Are y'all familiar with this? He's fully accomplished. You don't have to like him. You know what I mean? You don't have to like him, but he's fully accomplished, right? So recently, while he was out in public, people came at him for endorsing this statement. And I'm going to read it fast. R.I.P. Dr. Frances Welsing, a major producer of discourse of Afrocentric. A major producer of discourse of Afrocentric. This is what Mark endorses. He calls one of our great scholars and leaders in our community a major producer of discourse and Afrocentric thought around Black family and community, to whom Umar Boyce Watkins benefit from greatly. How do you honor the dead? Do we romanticize the best of them and negate their damaging acts and rhetoric? Or do we paint them whole by admitting the value contribution they made to thinking beyond the deficit narrative of Black life, while at the same time efficiently demonizing and distorting particular Black lives, Black women, and the LGBT folk? What this was, and I'll stop right there. This was an endorsement that Mark was endorsing the beating or flogging our scholar and Queen Mother, because her point of view of the feminizing our brothers and her and I want to say it right, her breakdown of the LGBT plight, right? So Mark endorses it, right? Mark endorses it. But when he goes out in public, the people rose up on him and they want answers. So now that he knows that the people in our community seems to be distancing themselves from him, now what he does is he goes to Saneter TV. He goes to Saneter TV to clean up and be resold to the people. You feel what I'm saying? That's exactly what he did. He went to Saneter TV to be cleaned up and to be resold to the people. And I think it's right here. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Is that it? Whatever the case may be, if you didn't see it, let me see if I can find it for you. I'll try to find it for you real quick. But he tried to be resold to the people, family. And if you haven't seen it, in fact, let me just go to, I'll show you right now. Let me just go to right here. I'm gonna play it because I don't think I can. Oh yes, I can. I can get it to you. I can get it to you. Let me get it to you like this. Here we go. I think I can give it to you like this. No, that's not it. I want to show you how he was trying to repackage and sell himself back to the people. I think I probably got it right here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go. I got it. My bad. I'm moving too fast. Check out how he tried to resell himself back to the people by the way of Saneter TV. Here we go. Let me upload it. I want to upload it so you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Here you go.
Do it right. I agreed with what I reposted it. Right. He's a scholar in the Midwest. He's a queer scholar. And he wrote a post on Facebook. Right. And on his Facebook post, he said,
what he said is what I just wrote. I mean, what I just read. And so what I'm saying to you, family, is that now he comes to Saneter to clean up so it can be resold to our people. Watch this.
I respect. No, he said people are eulogizing her, but we can't ignore the fact that her work was homophobic. And that it.
No, we just read it. We know exactly. You know what I mean? We know exactly. We know exactly.
It made me as a black gay man feel X, Y, and Z. Right.
So the whole point, right, L? Come on, right, L? I know you not just coming in here asking foolish questions. The point that I'm making, family, is that this guy, Mark, he came for France's throat. You know what I'm saying? On the LGBT thought. But now the people came for him in public. And so in order to wash him up and send him back into our community, he goes where? Say it with me. I want y'all to say it with me. He goes where, family? In order to clean him up and send him back into our community, he goes where? Where he go? He goes to Saneter. He gets cleaned up. Presumably, not to smart people like us. We know the game. Not to intelligent people like us. We know the game. But what I need to do is show you the pattern. He goes to Saneter. They ask him strategic questions, and they appear to be clean him up, realign him, make him presentable. He's cool because he's with Saneter, and then they push him back into the community. And he carry on with the propaganda, family. I'm telling you, this is a thinking platform. If you are not a critical thinker, this platform is not for you. If you, that's right there, you better know me. You better know me. But what I'm saying is, when you pay close attention and analyze things critically, you begin to see that this pattern can only identify one thing. Now, Mark says he's not gay, but he endorses and fights for, if you will, that community. And that's his right. That's what he want to do. And somebody said, am I implicating Jabari too? Jabari may be complicit unknowingly. Listen, Jabari like the spotlight like anybody else, I would imagine. I think Jabari wants to teach primarily, but I think if Jabari got a call and says that, Mark, he used to work for CNN, Mark that worked for Black News, Mark, I need you to interview him. Come on over, Jabari. Mark on CNN. Wow, I'm on my way. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that Jabari knows the intricate plot. However, by default, he's complicit, but he may not know. And he could genuinely just want to help Saneter TV. So generally, he might not even have an idea about the propaganda and the scheme that is being worked. He might just want to help Saneter TV, genuinely from his heart. But by default, somebody said, did you say a gay bad like me? Fool, I'm about to block you. Let me go ahead and block this person. You know what I mean? Ask me something stupid. You see this fool? Yeah, you gotta make a new account now. We ain't gonna play them games. Now, so with that being said, let me tell my other guests I need 15 minutes. Let me tell my other guests I need 15 minutes, family. Give me one more second, because I got a few things I want to do. I got 2 things I got to do to wrap up. And then I got to give them the floor. Okay, you watching Bashir. I need about 15 minutes. I got a few more slides that I have to wrap up. I got to wrap up these slides. You know what I'm saying? And somebody say, oh, no, he knows. See, I don't know. What I'm doing is, let me say this to connect the dots. I'm just giving Jabari the benefit of the doubt. That's it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving Jabari the benefit of the doubt. Family, up next, we have the one and only Bashir. Imam Bashir is going to give us a behind-the-scene look of how he helped build the house of consciousness. He was instrumental. And so we're not going to allow that this narrative go on that he made people. Because most of these people came to the house of consciousness, they were already imams or on their way. They were already Kemetic scientists or on their way. They were already Moors. They was already Hebrews or on their way. What he did was he used these personalities for his own benefit. And when he used these personalities for his own benefit, he ultimately threw them away. Let me get these last few slides in real quick. Now, this is the one that they try to sell you to the people as the redemption. This is the redemption plan for our people. They put the title in, Mark Lamont Hill talks about how Malcolm X changed his life. Typical. Ain't that typical? Ain't that typical? This is how they repackage and resell the fraud to you. You understand what I'm saying? They repackage and resell the fraud to you. This is what Black News 102 and Saneter TV does. The real ones, you can tell who the real ones, because they're going to do what they do, whether Black News 102 or Saneter TV or that. People like Tazoriak, people like Bashir, AOC, Lex, and a lot of people that came through there, they're going to do their thing regardless. You know what I mean? They're going to do their thing regardless. So the point that I'm making is that Saneter has no, only thing Saneter did was provide the camera and the platform. That thing shaped itself. This is why. Let me show you something. This is why Polite was able to chart his way towards Hollywood and achieve his goal as master scammer. And Saneter end up depleting his funds now on his show, getting drunk, talking like a crazy drunk uncle and trying to hold on. Now you got him calling the police on people. My daughter down the street, I need the FBI. You got people saying that he left his wife for the Hebrew sister, which that's personal. I don't care about any of that. But now he can't even defend and fight back as the Saneter we used to know. The Saneter we used to know had a little bit of principle back in 2014. Oh, so we thought. But now he just sounds like a drunk uncle. He on that sound like a drunk uncle cussing people out. But he calls this the house of consciousness. And now the new people coming in, the little that they do learn from those who are sincere that comes on the platform, bless their heart. But let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick, if I can. Let me show you something. I want to ask y'all a few questions real quick, if I can. Did I mash that out yet? Let me see something. Hold on. All right, here we go. Give me a second. I got a question for y'all. Let me take y'all back just for a little bit. It's some unmentioned people that helped build House of Consciousness that y'all forgot about. Let me give y'all a test real quick. Who's that young brother right there? Anybody remember? Let me give y'all a test real quick before I get on to our next guest. Who is that? Huh? Who is that? Somebody write it in the chat. Who is that young brother? Whatever happened to Brother Marcus? Anybody know? I would love to find these brothers and hear their story. All right, let's do another test. I'm pretty sure you know this, brother. I'm pretty sure you know this, brother. Hold on. Where I put it at? Okay, hold on. There it is. I know y'all know that, brother. Sankofa. I know y'all know that, brother. The real Dr. Ali. I know y'all know that, brother. I know y'all know this, brother. These are the people that build Black News 102 and Saneter TV. These are. Anybody know who that brother is? Anybody remember that brother? Who remember the warrior Hebrew? Anybody remember the warrior Hebrew? See, now we going way back. Now we going way back. The warrior Hebrew. See, you don't have to like these people, but what I'm telling you, there you go, Mammy Rika. There you go. There you go. Let me ask you, do y'all remember this brother? Let me give you one more real quick. Y'all remember Brother Rael? Y'all remember him? He was one of the first ones that say Saneter was a scammer. Y'all remember him? Anybody remember him? He was one of the first ones back in the day that said he was a scammer. He was a fixture on them. And so, yeah, what my point that I'm making is, you know what I mean? That's right. Red pill, blue pill, Brother Seville, Natural Tahuti, the Mighty Hebrew. We can go on and on and on and on. Family, the question remains, why don't they endorse Saneter today like they used to back in 2013, 14, and 15? Why? Brother Larry, that's right, him too. Like we can go on and on. These are the people that made us watch Black News 102, not Saneter. It was the people. It was the people that drew us in there. But I asked you a question. Why all of those people, where are they today? Why aren't they endorsing that network like they did back then? Herman Smalls. Family. Because they figured it out. They figured it out. I'm not going to say all of them figured it out. Some of them just went on with their lives. But I will guarantee you, most of them figured it out. They figured it out. And we must figure it out too. It's a sham. It's a sham. It's a con. It's a con game, family. It's a con game. Last but not least, let me get this, and then I'm going to close out, and then we're going to open back out. Y'all coming back in? Okay. Somebody say, I beg to differ. I never been out there with a bullhorn back in the day. I've already touched on that. You came in late. I said when Saneter had left the New Black Panther Party, it was so much confusion after the death of Dr. Khaled that he went on to get the money. And so what he began to do is sell bootleg DVDs on 125th. The bullhorn was the advertising to bring people to buy the DVDs. That's called marketing. All right. That was a hustle. That was a marketing plan. How do we know that? Because you don't feel that strong 1 minute and then the next minute you could care less. When you don't feel that strong one time in your life and then later on in life you say, man, we ain't no damn Africans. You don't feel that strong making people kiss your boots. And then now to plot, to draw interest to yourself. Hold up 1 second. To draw interest to yourself, you do stupid stuff like 1 second. To draw interest to yourself, you'll sit on the bench and act like that you got a new family and put that in the caption. And act like you have a European family. This is all a hustle, family. The bullhorn was the advertising and marketing to get people over there to buy the DVDs. Are you serious? Do you truly believe that the burger, and I don't eat meat, but if you ever ate a Big Mac, and I ate a few in my day, the burger on the billboard does not look like the burger in the cardboard box. The one in the cardboard box, the cheese is on the left, the burger is on the right, the bun is tilted over, and the lettuce is everywhere. But the one on that billboard is perfectly shaped. So Saneter is selling you the billboard revolution through the bullhorn to get you over there to buy a DVD. As Counselor Cone say, it's the bullhorn is props and theatrics. Don't be fooled. We've been fooled long enough. Question everything. I'm telling you, it is what it is. Now, let me close with this. The last person, the last two people, because I got another guest coming. The last two people that came on this show recently was Michi X. Let me explain something to you. Messy X continues to be in crisis as it relates to her trying to sell her black business ideals to our people. There is word going around that she's also scamming, which I can't say that for sure, but I do know that she's selling an illusion, a get-rich scheme. I do know that. I do know that it appears that she's disingenuous. I do know that beyond a reasonable doubt of what has been produced, that she claimed to be working for the people, but the same money that come from the people, it appears to be given to a brother that has nothing to do with the people. So, but that's not neither here nor there. But it caused a firestorm. And the moment that it caused the firestorm, the first thing she did is go to Saneter TV. Never been on Saneter TV a day in her life that I remember. But the moment she found out that her finances will be at risk and she can't do her black tour, she goes to Saneter TV. And not only does she go to Saneter TV, she goes to Saneter TV, hopefully to clean her image up before the people and then be pushed back into the community so she could continue to sell this get-rich idea that's really just a hustle man scam. I could teach you this stuff for free. I could teach you how to sell European products. I wouldn't endorse selling European products, but I could teach you how to sell European products with your name on it on your website and you get some kickback. I could teach you that. So the moment that people are exposed of being scandalous, the moment that people are exposed and maybe not be accepted as a genuine person in our community, they go right to Saneter. They get cleaned up. But little do they know, Saneter of 2021 is not the Saneter of 2014 or 2013. He is not the rubber stamp anymore of what's real and what's not. Last but not least, Malik Zulu Shabazz. Malik Zulu Shabazz had the audacity to call me an agent. And so now I've been proven that by a reasonable doubt, within reason, that he also has a ghost pass that don't nobody know. He also has the same type of agent type pass that is given to agents, whether if you watch if you watch the mob flicks where people infiltrate, or you watch any flicks where they infiltrate, where their history is a ghost history. So you look at Brother Polite says, my mother passed away when I was a little boy. You look at Malik Zulu Shabazz, he says his father passed away when he was a little boy. And I'm not saying it's true, not, or whatever the case may be, but the similarities is striking. Brother Polite says he grew up in Brownsville. We haven't seen anybody from his gang life in Brownsville rolling with him yet. We seen him take a camera in Brownsville and portray like he was from bad, but he's that bold. He came to Baltimore and the Bloods was giving away pizzas to the homeless. He filmed and told the world that he was doing it. He's that bold. You feel what I'm saying? He's that bold. Let me say this, James Young, if you want to speak about AJ, you're welcome to come on here. If you're not going to come up here and talk about AJ and you exposing AJ, then I'm gonna end up blocking you. Stop, what you call it, spamming the chat. You didn't talk 100 times about AJ, brother. You can come and talk about AJ if you want to. Bring your receipts. It's okay. Bring your receipts. You know what I'm saying? But don't keep spamming the chat. I don't see nothing wrong with no brother AJ. Bring your receipts. You're welcome to come on here. All right, so listen. So in Baltimore, the Bloods was feeding. He did a lecture, and the Bloods was feeding the homeless. I actually introduced him to the brothers. You follow what I'm saying? I introduced him to the brothers. I couldn't make it there, but he did. I had to teach Sunday school in the temple, so I couldn't make it. But he did. He started filming everybody giving out pizza. Hold up. Let me see if I got this real quick before I close it out. Let me see if I got this real quick. I might got it. Do I got? Oh, I can show it right here. So he goes on his social media. This how he got messed up and can't come to Baltimore no more. He goes on his social media. And then he began to promote my man, shot 13 times, to try to validate himself of being around some real thoroughbreds. He don't know these people. I don't want to introduce Polite to them at the lecture. At this time, I thought Polite was solid. But the moment that he gets back to California, he faking like he's vegan revolution leader and all this crazy stuff. Shout out to my brother P and my brother Big Wolf. You know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is that the brother in those pictures right there, they the one organized feeding the people under the bridge. Aminette was with the camera and then claiming on their social media. That's right, my bro Sonny, that's right, political P. And then they claim that he was feeding the homeless people. But that's what that and taking that money from them brothers in Baltimore on some scheme got him banned from Baltimore. Now Malik is being questioned. One more time. Malik Zulu Shabazz is being questioned of his legitimacy and his track record. Where do he go at or send people to defend him? Saneter TV. Saneter is the gatekeeper. Period, point blank. Family, in a minute, I'm going to close this out. See right here? And I'm going to relax. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to relax. And then we're going to bring Brother Imam Bashir in here momentarily. Are y'all coming back with me? Y'all coming back with me? Y'all gonna rock with me and Brother Imam Bashir and get the background story of how this scam developed? How was it working? How did he feel when he was up there teaching, up there debating? Y'all coming back with me? Come on, man. This is a lot of work here. All right. So listen, I'm going to exit out and I'm coming right back in. All right. Y'all with me? Let's do it. Imam Bashir up next. Less than 3 minutes. We back.